Has started. All right, sweetheart. So do you want me to ask that question first, or just get into the reading, or what would you like me to do, hun?
I guess just start with general messages. I'm feeling a little lost in terms of career and maybe in my relationship. And just curious about which ancestors or if anybody wants to give me some advice on career and, my relationship, my
Of
marriage.
course. Well, let me ask you a question. Is your mom here, or is she passed?
My mother's here.
Okay. Okay. And what about your father?
Both deceased.
Your
Father and
father's.
stepfather. Yeah, father and stepfather.
Oh. Well, would you like to talk to one of them?
Sure.
What, you're not so sure?
I
You
was
don't
just
sound.
trying to think of which one. I was wondering which one to like
I
say.
heard
I was like,
dad.
well, both of them.
I think your father. Listen, were you closer to your stepfather or your father? We'll start with the one that you were closer to, sweetheart.
Honestly, both, but my let's go with my bio dad because I just feel like he's here.
Oh, he's definitely here, honey. Um, I don't know if I should. What is this, dude? I've never heard this word in a reading. Let me ask you something. Are you a witch, or do you believe in witchcraft? I've heard witchcraft. I don't know what that means.
Yes, I have always had an affinity for that. Regardless, my mother has always been
Shut
for that.
up, because I literally the first thing I heard was witchcraft. You're kidding me. Let me tell you something. I've done readings. I've done over 3,000 readings, and I've never heard witchcraft in one of my readings. Never.
Oh yeah, my dad's Native American and my mom's Irish Gypsy, so we're kind of an
Oh
interesting
my
mix.
God, you have an affinity for this, darling, because that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing about witchcraft. That's crazy. I wasn't sure if I'd say anything. I didn't want to be disrespectful, but I literally heard witchcraft, sweetheart, and I'm like, okay, okay. All right. So let me tell you something. You have a lot of ancestors here from your Native American side, sweetheart.
I do.
No, yeah, no, your dad and his dad and his dad and so on and so on. There's a lot of American Indians around you because you come from that culture. I feel like, do you have abilities?
I do. Yes,
You have abilities like I do, or do you not tap into them like I do?
I do for other people. I do tarot readings mostly, and we went up to Maine, and I think there's something in the ground in the quartz there. Every tarot reading was like a medium reading with dead people coming through. I don't read for myself or my family just because I it used to scare me when I was a kid. Like I slept with the lights on,
You
so I
can
slept
read
with
for me with my husband when we get done if you want to. I don't care about that. I love when people talk to my husband, especially people that have never talked to him, because I'd love to know what they say. But let's go back to you, not my husband. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just like to hear
I'm
about
sorry
my
for your
husband.
loss.
I just like to hear about my husband. That's all. That's all it is to it. I can't help it. Let me see what else I'm hearing for you, sweetheart. No, I just heard heart attack. Would this be for your father or your stepfather, or who had the heart problems?
Um, my father died of a heart issue, but it wasn't a heart attack. He was stabbed in the heart.
Oh my God, sweetheart, Jesus!
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel the pain from that right now. Oh my gosh, my chest is hurting a lot. Ugh. Damn, I would have got to that too, but that's okay. I would have got to it, but it's okay. You told me I would have got to it eventually. I always do. How I always get to causes of death. Yeah, no wonder why he was telling me about his heart. That's crazy. Oh my God.
Yeah, a homeless person took a boot knife out and just stabbed him right in the heart. Uh,
I feel like this was an unprovoked attack.
yeah, I think it was he was just being loud and crazy in the apartment building. This was like, unfortunately, the night of my birthday. I was 4 and told the guy to be quiet.
Wow.
And he went crazy and just stabbed me. Died on my birthday.
How did the homeless guy get to your apartment or by your apartment?
I think my dad was like,
Outside or something?
he was working in a different town, and so he was with his brother. They were working out of town, and that's what happened.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see. Yeah, I see a lot of blood around your dad, man. He bled out really bad. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. Now, you don't really remember your father, do you?
Oh, I have lots. It's funny. I was 4, but I have so many memories bringing animals home.
Well,
Pigs.
that's good. That's good. I was assuming you didn't, but I'm glad that you do. That's amazing. I love that for you, sweetheart. Yay. I'm glad that you do, because most people, I realize when they're 4 years old, I can't remember what I did when I was 4. So what a gift that you have, sweetheart. That's amazing. I love that for you.
Thank you.
He was a handsome guy, wasn't he? He's telling me he was pretty handsome.
Yes, he was very handsome.
If you don't mind he says, if you don't mind myself saying it, he says, I think I was a pretty handsome dude.
hmm
I feel like I feel like your mom and your dad, now, were they not together for very long, your mom and your dad?
I think they were together probably like, I don't know, 5 years or something.
Okay, because I'm feeling they weren't together for very long, if that makes sense.
hmm
Was he still with her when he died?
They were like, I think on the rocks.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling too, because I feel like that's what I mean about not really together. I feel like it was like an off again, on again kind of thing, you know?
I think so too, yeah.
You guys don't forget, if you guys want to pay during a reading, go ahead, because I'd like to keep the ball rolling if I could. I just want to do reading after reading after reading, because this is all I want to do all day long. I can't help it. I love doing it. I love helping people, and I get closure out of it with my husband too, being a psychic medium. So I do get a lot of benefits from this, you guys, for sure. Let me see what else he's telling me, honey. Now I'm going to tell you a name I heard. Do you have any S names, or Steve or Steven name? I heard S, or any Steve names around you.
No, the only Steven that was in our lives was an abusive boyfriend of my sister's, but that was years ago, and he's not really around anymore.
Okay. So you don't have any other S names?
No, no S names.
Well, thank God he's not in the picture.
Yeah.
I'm glad your sister left. Your sister left, did she? I'm glad. Or did he kick her out? One or the other. I feel like she left there. She left him, didn't she?
She left him. He was schizophrenic with rage, and I really feel like he had some demonic influences on him.
Well, it doesn't surprise me, because that's kind of what I feel too, my friend. I do feel that too. So yeah, that's crazy. Let me see what else. Now, who had the cancer, darling? I'm hearing about the cancer.
My stepfather, who died as well.
Was it in his lungs by chance? He's talking about his lungs.
He had bone cancer, but he was put on a ventilator. He was having trouble breathing.
Okay.
He had
Towards the end, he's talking about the end. Yeah, because he's talking about his lungs. So that makes sense. If make sure nobody else paid me. Hold on, let me see.
But also my papa, who passed, died of lung cancer too. His father, my father's father, died of lung cancer as well. He only had one lung when he died.
Oh
So
my
it
God!
could be either one.
You mean your grandfather?
Yes, my papa, my dad's dad.
Did something happen to her? Or was he born that way?
No, he had lung cancer. He smoked. He even smoked into his oxygen machine.
You're kidding. Do you know if he might have had emphysema because of that? I'm hearing about emphysema.
Most likely. Most likely. Toward the end. He was a Native American roofer. He just they like tobacco.
Of course. Those Native Americans are kind of a little crazy. I know they're big drinkers too. So was he a drinker?
Not so much. I do think in the past he probably was, but they stopped. My sisters are, unfortunately, I'm the only one that doesn't have alcoholism in my sibling group, but I don't think that's the end.
Well, thank God that you don't, sweetheart. Thank God you don't,
Yeah. I was like, Irish and Native American, that's not a good mix for the drinking guys.
No, definitely not. Let's see what else I'm hearing for you, honey. Did your dad relate to eagles very much? I'm hearing about eagles.
He sends me eagles in the sky sometimes.
And you know that's from your dad, don't you? Because you see an eagle when you're thinking about your dad, don't you? Because he's talking about the eagles. This is the only reading that I've done that had somebody mention the eagle. So this is my second reading with somebody that was talking about eagles.
Yeah, when I'm feeling down or I need a sign and I look up to the sky, I ask Creator and him to send me a sign. He always sends me
an eagle. And there's the eagle. Eagles are the most majestic and beautiful birds. Eagles are great. I love eagles. They're so magnificent. You guys don't realize how big their wingspan actually. It's like a 7 or 8 foot wingspan. I'm telling you, they got big ass wings. Very big birds. They're very big wingspan. So I feel like the eagles is just your. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same eagle. Do you think it's the same one, or do you feel like it's a different one?
It depends where I'm at because he sent them all over the U.S. Like when I was in Maine for a while, like it was definitely the same eagle couple that he would send my way.
Are you? Are
Florida
you?
is random.
Do you have a tattoo? You don't have something with the eagle tattoo, do you, or some kind of tattoo about this? No.
Oh no, I don't have any tattoos. No.
Were you thinking about doing that, something like that?
You know what? I thought about it's not eagles, but it's wings. Okay, I had thought about getting two wings on my back, one for
Yeah.
each of my dads.
You know, I actually do have wings. I'm an angelic starseed. I come from the heavens apparently because I'm an angelic. So I technically do have wings that I can feel them flutter. It's the craziest. I have white wings. They're heavy. They're very heavy on my back, believe it or not.
That's beautiful.
They're white wings. So I'm an angelic starseed, and that's what I found out from a very good energy worker. It's funny, how she knew. I asked her. I said, "Can you please help? I have an insistent itching on my back. I've had this insistent itching for almost 15 years." She started laughing at me. I said, "Why are you laughing at me?" She says, "Because you have wings." I said, "What?" She said, "Your wings are tucked away." She opened my wings, and my back has not itched since that day.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so she opened my wings for me, and let me tell you what, when I'm by myself and I'm sitting up straight, and I think I can freaking feel my wings opening and closing. Like I can feel them going. The wing sound that the wing sounds make when they. I can feel that, my friend. Yeah, I can feel that. So I have white wings because Isis sees my wings, and I forget to put them away at night. Maybe I need to start putting my wings away. I forget, and I'm sure they're probably all crinkled right now. I have no idea. I don't know. Okay, let me see what else I hear for you, sweetheart. That's why I feel like my back is kind of heavy because I just feel like when they're out, they just feel really, really heavy. This is why I'm so spot on with stuff because I get information right from the source. The source of everything. That's where I get my information from. That's why I guess I'm so spot on all the time. I don't know. To be honest with you.
Most likely, and probably your, what do they really call it? Third eye or crown's probably like super open.
I hope so. I tend to think so. I'd love to think that. I think that's true because I hear so many things spot on. That's the only explanation for it.
Do you know if he has any messages for my mom or my siblings or any advice on this thing that I recently underwent I'm sort of shifting gears here business wise and leaning more into my gifts. And I'm sort of doing it quietly because my mom is very like religious and people around me and
that's the problem with what I do. I don't go to church because they don't believe that I should do this or I can do it, but I can, and I'm going to continue to do it to help people. But they believe that there's nobody here. That's bullshit because there is people here because I clearly talk to them. I would have no way of knowing anything, So it's not. They're not demons or they're not bad. They're just people that need help to talk to their ancestors, their family.
Yes. Yeah, so I'm not sure if it's something like I should switch gears. I mean, so far it's been pretty successful. I've only done it
He
like
said, go,
openly
he said,
from
go for it. He says, do in your heart what you know that you can do. He said, go for it. He said, you'll be very successful at this. He says, you do what you think you can do best. And he says, you know what you can do and you know what you want to do. He says, you know it. He says, just do it. He says, stop pussyfooting around.
Yeah.
That's him, not me. That's what he's telling me. That's not me. That's him. I don't say pussyfoot around unless I'm talking about something, but that's what he told me. He said, do what you think is best and do what you know you can do. He says that this is your calling, sweetheart. He says, this is your calling. And you know it's your calling because you're so good at it, he says. And I'm going to tell you what I did last year.
Does he know?
Go ahead.
What did you do?
I quit my job to do this full time.
No, I was gonna say, what did you do?
I quit my job, my regular job as a caregiver, to do this full time.
That's what I'm debating.
Do it. I just heard do it. Do it.
It's caregiving in a different way.
No, it is. It is.
Okay.
I'm healing people's emotions. I'm healing their
Oh,
psyche, and it is caregiving. But mine was just a physical job. I was at the point where I couldn't do it anymore because of my back. I couldn't handle it anymore. I did that. I did it for 25 years, and it was time for me to retire. And now this is my calling. I never knew it till just now, but this was always my calling. I knew things my whole life. I feel like you've known things since you were a little girl. I have too. I did not know what label to call it until
mm-hmm.
2 months after my husband died. He says, sweetheart, you know you are very good at this. He says,
Okay.
why not do it full time? Because you can make good money at it. Like this kind lady, my money's okay. I'd only charge $35 a reading. It's not like I'm charging $350. Somebody paid $400 for half an hour. That's highway robbery. I'm sorry to say. That's like $800 an hour. I would never charge that much anyways.
I see that a lot too. Yeah, it's very generous, the 35, I think for sure.
And
And I've
and
seen people get pretty crazy.
and she said I didn't relate. She said I didn't relate to anything in that reading, and so she lost out on $400 and didn't relate to anything.
Oh my goodness.
And I refund money if I don't connect. If I don't connect, I refund people their money. I'm not going to keep the money unless I'm doing my job.
Well, I appreciate that. Oh, you're certainly doing a wonderful job here.
Thank you,
Anything I can do to
sweetheart.
help promote or anything like that, I'd be happy to
Please do. I want to get
do
into more private readings. I don't do as
a
enough private
review.
readings as I would like to. Please promote me. This will be on my YouTube later. So, I mean to say, so if
Okay.
you want to promote that, that'd be great. Just say, look how good this girl did for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I just can't
yeah,
believe I heard
absolutely.
witchcraft
No,
for you. That's the first thing I heard was witchcraft, and I've never heard that in any reading.
I've
I,
always done it. I've always been drawn to candles and things like this. And my mom would always just like correct me and be angry with me. And I didn't even realize I was doing anything like bad. And my dad wasn't there to reassure me.
you see what I got going right
And my
now?
stepdad didn't feel it.
You see that?
Oh, yeah. That smells nice.
It is. It
So,
smells very nice. It's hard to touch the glass because half of it's hot. So let me put. I'm grabbed it from the bottom. Yep. So that's. I It's funny because I'm also an energy healer. I don't know if you knew this or not, but I'm an energy healer, and I can take people's pain away with my energy. So if you're hurting anywhere before we get
that's
off of here, I could do
amazing.
energy
I had
healing
no
for you.
idea.
I am very good at that. I take people's pain away, and it
Thank
stays
you.
away
I
for
do
a
feel a
very
little
long
bit of my,
time. I could here. Let me try right now. Do you want me to try right
I
now?
do
We're in
feel
the
like
middle
my
of
shoulder blades hurting.
what? Where is it hurting?
Like my shoulder blades, like the underneath of my shoulder blades.
Because that's where I'm hurting, darling. You're picking up off of me, but let me help you. Are you ready? Do you want me to do this for you? I'll do this for you. I don't charge for this at all. You
Oh, yes.
ready?
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, please.
All you have to do is say you accept, okay? And I'll do it for you if you're ready.
I accept. I
Okay, here we go.
accept.
So is that where you're hurting just around your shoulder blades?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is your energy and I just don't know how to control it.
Okay. All right,
But
here we
yes,
go. I'm
please.
I'm gonna help you with this. Should help relieve it. Okay, here we go. Hold on.
Wow.
You feel it, don't you? Lifting.
Oh, yeah, no, as soon as you breathed out, it started to dissipate.
How is it? Is it gone now, or is it still doing it?
It kind of went down to my lower back and now it's coming out like, I don't know, is that the sacral? I don't know what that is, but yeah, no, I feel good. Thank you.
You feel good? Yeah, I'm telling you what, because I'm
Yeah,
an
no, I feel good.
angelic, it's very powerful. Let me ask you something. Was this your left shoulder blade by chance?
Yes, it was.
Because that's where mine's hurting.
Oh, well, I hope you didn't take it back into yourself.
No, sweetie, I've had it for a little while. I've had it since my first reading, and I'm going to have to release it for myself later. I'm okay right now, but I'll release it for myself later because that's exactly where I was hurting. We're jumping off of each other.
No, this is so fun. Yeah, I sort of like, I don't know. It's like when I talk to, I want to go online because I want to talk to, like, connect with more people that are in this field because a lot of times, I don't know, there's just a certain levels of where lived experience is at and things like this. I'm just not finding it here and those around me.
No, honey, this is why this is what I do. I have my IG, my YT, my FB, and this is my main page. I have a backup page with like 500 people because I don't push it out, but I actually did my first reading. I was on a live and I did my first reading on my live. After that, it was like, phew, the heavens opened up for me, my friend.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you know if he knows anything about white wolves and some things that happened to me and my brother when we were...
Petey, go sit down.
It?
Petey, go sit down. I can't hear you. You're scratching the floor. Go sit down. Lay down. No.
Is that
no,
a dog?
Hold on. He's scratching the floor because he's scratching his back and he's making his nails. Petey, come on bed. Get up on the bed. Get up. Petey, get up. I'm trying to get him to come up because when he scratches on the bed, his rear end, like it makes so much noise because his feet are moving so much. Okay, he's finished. Okay. Now, what were you asking me, honey? Because I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Oh, it was funny. It was a dog. I was asking about wolves. My brother and I had some experiences with some white wolves when we were in Europe, and
those are your ancestors. You
like,
understand? Those are your ancestors, sweetheart. They're like your ancestors. Wolves, they know their pack. They know their people, and I believe that's part of your ancestors, darling. This is. They come in all forms and shapes and sizes. Your ancestors decided to come to you in the form of white wolves, sweetheart.
It scared my brother very badly because they chased us, and it was almost a spiritual experience. But he's still scared to this day. Again, though,
wolves are scary. Wolves are
he's
scary.
not
They're
living
scary.
his best life.
Yeah, wolves. I wish he could come to me because I'm an energy healer. I can help him get rid of whatever fear that he has. They were changing you, but I feel like they were chasing you to. I don't know why they'd be chasing you, to be honest with you, but I feel like. I don't know the meaning of being chased by wolves, but I feel like they just were supposed to come into your lives for a reason. That's how I feel.
Probably we weren't supposed to be where we were at, is what I'm thinking. When they chased us back up the hill.
It could have been. Were you someplace you weren't supposed to be? They were probably chasing you out of where you were. You know what? I think they were protecting you from something else. I just heard that protection for somebody else. That's what they were chasing you out. Something dark and evil. I would not be surprised. So I think these wolves were chasing you to get out of the situation that you guys were in, to protect you, if that makes sense. That's how I'm feeling for them. Yes, that's why they'd be chasing you. Yeah, I see that. I do see that now.
Yeah, we were in Palermo, Italy, at this catacombs kind of place. My mom and dad went to the catacombs.
No. I can already tell you. I'm gonna stop you right there. That was not a good place to be. Mm-mm.
And we went wandering off down a meadow toward these woods, and before we got halfway through,
I'm going to tell you why, because there was Sasquatch near you. By the way, there was Sasquatch by you. That's why those wolves were chasing you out of there.
Well, we certainly scared us. We got out of there fast, and he's scared to this day of them.
Well, yeah, but luckily he probably won't come in contact with anybody, but with any of them. But there was something bad and dark, and Sasquatch is probably one of them that was in there because they're in woods all over the world. So, they're these mythical creatures. I think they transport through the portals. They come and go, and these like white lights in the wood out of nowhere. So there's some of these woods are very haunted. And these wolves were chasing you. That's what I feel like these were your ancestors, and they were chasing you to get out of there because you guys were going to either get hurt or something could have happened to you guys. And those wolves were there to protect you. I can see that now. Once you said catacombs, I said, yep, no, catacombs are not good. Nothing good comes out of catacombs. Believe me, my friend, nothing good comes out of catacombs.
Yeah.
Except darkness.
We didn't go down there.
Darkness and damp. There's evil down there. I'm just telling you, right? There's evil down there. That's why these wolves were chasing you away to protect you. Because that's what I see. I see that, sweetheart. I see that. Because once you told me where you were, that explains everything. Just once you told me that scenario, that explains everything. And I do see there was something dark and evil down in those catacombs, and they were chasing you out of there. That's what I said. A lot of times these ancestors come into these wolves. There's this big mythology about Native American people and wolves. They have this like copacetic relationship, and a lot of times these ancestors come back into the form of wolves for protection, to protect you guys, and that's the truth. I see that. I'm probably about an 8th American Indian. My paternal grandfather was actually half American Indian, half Spanish, so That would make me a quarter. I'm a quarter American Indian. This is why I get so dark in the summers. I tan so good in the
Well,
summers, I tell you. And I keep my tan most of the year. I'm still pretty tan. See, I'm still pretty tan. I mean, kind
hmm
of. Not right now, but I'm winter right now. But
we're all over the place. We all look different. My sisters are dark. I'm the light one, and we're the last tribal members. After us, our kids will not be tribal members, but
they
that's
won't.
okay. I don't want to
They
go
won't.
marry my cousin or anything.
But aren't your kids part of it because they're your children?
No, there's blood quantum stuff that they take very seriously, and so with my dad, I think he was only considered half, I think, and then so we're a quarter, and so after that, there you don't get anything else. So it kind
Well,
of
I'm part American Indian because my grandfather was half American Indian, half I think Spanish. So I'm just like
mhm.
you. I'm a Korean, and so I do have American Indian heritage, but I've never looked into it. This is why I feel like I turn so dark in the summer, and I stay dark for all year long. I mean, because I think I have that dark pigment in my skin. To be honest with you,
Yeah, each tribe has their own sort of like treaty type thing with the Bureau of Indian Affairs, and so each one's different. So depending on who your tribe is, that's how they. Some are blood quantum, some is just by your maternal lineage, and just depends.
interesting. I know who my grandfather is. I'd have to check into it. I really don't know how to do that. He's been gone for a very long time, so that's
Sorry.
interesting.
Well, maybe this is supposed to be a reminder to do that or something.
Maybe so. Maybe you come across me for a reason, girl.
I think so. I feel it. Do you think my
Come on.
stepdad has any messages he would like to share?
Yeah, I'm gonna get connected to him now. What'd you say the cancer was for him, your stepfather? Or no, I can't
Yes,
remember.
his was cancer. Yeah.
Now was he a T name, or do you have any T names around you, hun?
No, no teen names.
Okay,
Christina, maybe.
what was his name?
Gregory.
Greg. um. So I assume your mom and him were still married when he passed away.
Oh yeah.
He was good to you, wasn't he? He was a good father figure. Yes, do you think?
Oh, absolutely. He was perfect.
I feel like he treated you guys with kindness and respect. That's how I feel. I feel like he was just a good father figure and kindness and respect. But you called him Greg, didn't you? You didn't call him Dad. You called him Greg, didn't you?
That's correct.
Because he said she called me Greg. She called me Greg. I did not expect her to call me her father because she had a father.
I tried to call
Um,
him dad, but by the time I just couldn't stop because that's what we knew him as. But yeah.
no, I get it. I get it. I get it. Let me see what else he's telling me, sweetheart. He says, whatever you decide, you're going to do great at it. He says, because you're such a good girl. He says, because you're such a good girl, whatever you decide, you're going to do great at it. And that's the important part. You go jump all in, go both feet in, jump full force in, and you got this. He says, you got this. He says, you're just scared to go forward with this step because what other people said. He says, FUCK, what other people think. You do what you have to do to make yourself happy. One of my
Oh,
children
that
doesn't
sounds
like that
lovely.
I do this, but I still do it because it's that important to me. They don't think I can do this, even though they know I can, but they think I can't do this. And that's fine. I'm not going to force one of my children, they still think I shouldn't do this, but that's my business, not theirs. I don't tell my kids what to
Hmm.
do and they can't tell me what to do. But I don't do this in front of her. I stay here in my room and I don't do it out in the front room anymore. I don't do it anywhere. Hopefully I try to keep it down when she's awake because it bothers her. So I try to, keep it down. But, he says, you do what you do to make you happy. He said, screw everybody else. Don't worry about what everybody thinks. He says, you do what you do to make yourself happy. He says, why on earth are you worrying about everybody else? He says, do what you can do. Keep it separate. Listen, you can keep your family life separate like I do. Keep your family life separate. You don't have to talk about this with your family, but you do your business the way you want to see fit, he says. And he says, you can do
Okay.
this. And he says, you want to do this. So what are you waiting for? I believe
I'm
that.
not sure. I usually have successful enterprises. I think it's just the manner of which and the type of it. I have all these networks for my other business and stuff, but this is so different, and I can't really take those with me on this new venture. This would be totally different people, and I don't know. It's making me nervous. Did they have any opinions on my husband or my marriage or anything like that? I'd be curious to know.
Um, have you guys not been married very long?
We've been married for some time. I've known my husband since high school. We didn't get together for
Okay.
I've been with him for 12 years.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's not like a lifetime, but so 12 years. Okay. No, I just heard January. Do you relate to January in any way? By chance? It could be for anything.
Just
Birthdays,
maybe this
anniversaries.
last month of contemplation.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know. January.
It could be for birthdays, anniversaries, deaths, anything. That's pretty much what the months mean, you know. Let me see what else I'm hearing for you, sweetheart.
The only thing in January is just like drama stuff.
They're interfering with you because you're breaking up on me. You're like, I hear every other word you say. I think they're interfering with us.
I'm trying to move a little bit.
Because you were like, I heard like every other word you said, sweetheart. It happens. Spirit does crazy shit. You know that, my friend. Spirit does
sorry.
crazy shit.
Oh yeah, no, and especially when I'm trying to block a message.
Oh yeah.
I was
For
just
sure, for
curious.
sure.
I just drama stuff happening in January with my husband and me, just drama stuff.
For sure. No, I get it. I get it. I get it. It is what it is, you know? I feel like you guys will be okay. Communication. I heard communication is key. That's what I just heard. Communication is key. You got to open up those channels for communication. Always, always, always communicate. You guys got to tell each other how you feel, you know? Can one of you guys sometimes be closed off from the other one? Is that kind of happens between you guys, like the closed offness?
No, that's me.
That's you. That's what I meant. Between one of you guys, somebody's closed off. You got to open
Yeah.
up yourself up a little bit to him, you know? I know that he loves you or he wouldn't be with you for the last 12 years and through high school too. Now you guys have kids, don't you?
Yes, we do. We have 3.
I was just going to tell you, do you have 3? Do you have is it like 2 and 1? Do you have like 2 girls and a boy or 2 boys and a girl?
2 boys and a girl. Yep.
Are your children starting to develop some kind of abilities like you? Because I feel like they are, or they will grow into them.
My eldest son, especially, is a Scorpio. He sees people.
Yeah, he definitely does. I can see that. He definitely sees people. I if it's not going to be all of them, at least him, possibly 2, maybe all 3 of them. I don't know. I feel like the older he gets, the more disabilities, the more abilities he will harness and that kind of stuff. He sees your dad. I don't know. How old is your oldest one? Crap, I can't hear you. What'd you say?
12.
Oh my God.
He's 12?
I should have heard. I heard 12, dude. I should have just told you, is he 12? Because I literally heard 12 right before you told me. God damn it! I know better than that. Because I heard 12, but I was waiting for you to say it. But I knew he was 12 because I heard it. Why do I do that? Why do I do that to myself?
I do that sometimes.
Do you also have a 10-year-old?
I do, yes. My daughter's turning 10 in another couple months, and then
Stop.
my youngest is 9. Sorry,
I was just gonna ask. I was just gonna tell you that, goofball. I was telling you to stop because I was gonna tell the ages. Because I was hearing 8.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And then she was gonna be 9 because I heard the 12 and the 10 and the 8s, but because she's gonna be 9. So yeah, it's okay. That's why I was telling you to stop because I wanted to tell you her age. It's okay.
Well, it's
Listen,
okay.
it happens. It happens. You know, what are you gonna do? Does he ever talk to you about seeing his grandfather? Because I believe he sees his grandfather and the step grandfather as well. I believe he sees them because they're trying to get his attention because they want to talk to him. You know, they just want to say they love you. You know, they both love you. Your parent, your dad loves you. Your grandfather, your stepfather grandfather too, but your dad loves you. Your stepfather loves you, sweetheart. And they're always around. Do they flicker your lights? I'm hearing about, flickering lights. Do they flicker your lights? Do you see them flicker?
Constantly.
They're like
Constantly in the bathroom. Yep.
There's like, because
And in front of my son.
yeah, because they stand in front of your son. They look at your son and they're trying to get his attention. He's not scared though, is he? He's not scared.
He used to be, but not so much anymore because you could tell them to stop and they'll stop.
Right, for sure. He has his own voice now instead of when you're young, you don't know how to tell them to stop. It's funny with me when I was little, I could feel people coming after me and I thought it was monsters and I would run up the stairs because I literally thought there was monsters chasing me. But it wasn't monsters, it was people.
Yeah.
I swear. And when I first started driving, I could feel people in my back seat. I'm thinking, I get goosebumps all the time especially the first time I drove. Oh my God, I felt so much shit in the back seat. It wasn't crazy. So I should have known back then that's what I could do. But I just thought, I don't know what I thought. I didn't think I was a second medium to be, mind you. But, that's just my people looking after me, I suppose, keeping me safe first time driving, I got my driver's license because back then we had driver's ed classes, and that's how I got my driver's license at 16 because I passed driver's ed at school. All I had to do was go down there and show the paper, and they gave me my learner's permit when I was 16.
Oh, how easy. I wish they still did that.
I wish they did too, because driver's ed was a good course for me. I learned a lot in driver's ed, and I passed. And I got my learner's permit for, I think back then you had to keep it for 6 months, maybe a year. I think it was maybe a year or something. And then I could get my license. And I was always a good driver. But I was scared the first time I drove. Girl, I was so scared. Oh my gosh. It's scary to drive the first time. It really is. And now I'm 55. It's been
And you can
40
feel the
years.
energies of the drivers around you too, and it freaks you out. Like they're gonna merge and stuff before they do
I
it.
know I always, something tells me they're coming over and I pull back because I always knew, because something told me to pull back. Something has always, my whole life, something has protected me from getting into accidents and stuff, that's just how it goes for me. They had simulators in the classroom. Interesting, Callie.
I could see that.
Simulators is not the same thing as actually driving on the course like I got to. So that's how I become a good driver, because I actually got to drive. They had dual steering wheels. They had cars with the dual steering wheel and dual brakes, in case the instructor had to take over when I was in high school. So simulators is not the same thing as being an actual driver, because those are nothing compared to the road. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
But your husband, let's see about your husband. I heard everything's going to be okay. It's just you guys have to communicate and stop being so shut off from your husband. You got to open yourself up to him. You got to open to him, like let him help you. Communicate with him. Connect with him, darling. He deserves that. He's putting up with you for 12 years. Oh God.
Yeah.
I heard he's putting up with you for 12 years. Give him a break. Give the guy a break. I heard. I'm sorry. I wasn't mean to be. That was what they told me. That wasn't mean to be cruel. That was just, he's putting up with you, not the other way around.
Yeah.
But do what makes you happy. And I think you're going to be great at this. Listen, I'm very good at this, and I can see you being very good at it as well, sweetheart. I know you can do this. You just got to be strong. Be strong and be steadfast. Be steadfast in what you're doing. I just heard be steadfast, sweetheart. Be steadfast and be strong in what you decide to do. And don't turn back. Just do it and don't turn back. That's what I heard, okay?
That's fine. I can do that.
All right. Let me stop the recording, honey, because we're pretty much